Hi, my name is Dr. Sidney Van Ness, and I'd like to speak with you for a moment about how we can help ACOs reduce unnecessary ER utilization. One of the things that we see ACOs, MCOs, and other cost containment based organizations attempting to deal with is providing appropriate member access to care in a way that can help avoid unnecessary ER visits. We've seen estimates that as many as 70% of ER visits are for things that are not medical emergencies. What we find is that most commonly, members, before they end up in the ER, attempt to call their primary care provider. However, in smaller medical practices, those that are 1 to say 5 providers, a very frequently recurring theme is that they don't have an answering service at all, and they simply have an answering machine that says, "You've reached our medical practice. If this is a non-urgent issue, please leave a message. If you think this is a medical emergency, go to the ER." What we found is that members listen to this, and they go to the ER because they feel that they've been instructed to do so. And so for an ACO, part of the issue here is that they're actually being told by the providers in your network to go to the emergency room, very often for things that are not even urgent care issues, let alone emergent care issues. And so in order to remedy this, you need to intercept these members where they actually seek care, namely the PCP's office. However, if you go to the PCP's and say, "We need you to be on call," you will not be successful with that. And so at the right-hand side of the slide, what I've done is I've diagrammed out what's happening in many medical practices. Patient calls PCP's office, and they run into a greeting that simply says, "Call us back or go to the ER." So keep that in mind going forward here. So in order to combat this phenomenon, some ACOs and MCOs are starting to establish available care resources that let their members get in touch with nurses on call, hospitalists, urgent care centers, after normal office hours of their providers. So what they want to have happen is they want to have the member call a care line that's presumably on the back of a medical card, or it's been sent in some marketing circular to the members, and they hope and pray that people actually call this care line. You'll not be surprised to learn that if you have set this up, or if you're preparing to set this up, you're not going to get many phone calls. Studies have shown that if you print a number on the back of a card, that's going to get approximately, actually less than 1/10 the number of calls you would if you find another way to intercept these callers. So this model right here is fundamentally broken, and here's why. Because for every person who's going through this protocol that you've designed, they are vastly overwhelmed by the number of people who don't realize that there is a care line. They're still calling the many PCPs in your network, and several of those PCPs are telling people to go to the ER, and that drives up costs enormously. What we do at On Call Central is we let PCPs forward their phones to us. And as soon as we pick up the phone with our automated system, they're going to hear something that says, "If this is a non-urgent issue, press 1 to leave us a message. We'll return your call the next business day. However, if you're a member of ABC ACO organization and need to speak with the available care resource," and keep in mind that can be a nurse, hospitalist, it can be an urgent care center, any of those things, press 2 to have your call immediately connected. And we take that phone traffic and we immediately route that to the care resource that you've already set up. And so, diagrammatically, what it looks like is this. Each of the providers in your network becomes a gateway into the care resources that you have established. And it's going to get massively more phone calls than you're going to get if you let the members call your care resource directly. You're going to have much more success with this model. It won't be just a little bit, it'll be a huge difference. So, going back to slide number 1, what we have here is this model where you call a PCP's office and it says go to the ER or just call us back. Here's what we're proposing. We have the PCP's office forward their phones to On Call Central, and at that point, once we have that phone call and it's passing through our system, we can fork it at that point. We can direct the phone call for members to your existing care resources, and for non-members, we can send those. We can let them leave a non-urgent message. The benefits here are several, and they'll be more apparent here in just a moment. But the big ones are that first, We're intercepting the members where they actually seek care. That's the biggest point by far. Second, it doesn't require any change in behavior on the part of the provider. Third, it's easy for us to implement this for hundreds or even thousands of practices. Fourth, it doesn't require any additional code. And lastly, it's very easy for us to measure results. All we need to do is just count calls that we're passing off to your existing care resources. My name is Dr. Sidney Van Ness. I'd be more than happy to talk with you. You can reach me at my desk at 859-317-7957 or email me at sydney@oncallcentral.com. That's Sydney with an I at oncallcentral.com. Thank you very much.